Danger, 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 danger. Warning, this video is not going to be all for haha and jokes. This video is going to be serious, and this video is dedicated to be serious because the tone of my voice right now, this video is serious. This video isn't funny for all giggles and shits. This video is about something that is going to be discussed, that we are all coming to the table. And also, for those who ask me by saying is like, oh, what happened by you deciding to play part 10? Well, I decided to give part 10 a little bit of a change my mind. So, before this video begins, is if anybody here right now wants to watch this video, well, go ahead and watch the video if you can handle the video without pretty much likely complaining. But if not, then watch a different video that might be a bit different and better for you to watch, even differently to watch another video that isn't this video. And for those, by the way, that there will be no toxic comments, then remember, if there's a toxic comment, then the comments are turned off. But if there isn't a toxic comment or a disrespectful comment either, the comments will stay on. For those, by the way, who respect the man, then remember, respect the man and go seek God and seek church exactly, and pray for the man that actually was very much of a great person, exactly a great husband, a great dad, and even a great person, and pretty much likely as a great debater in around the world and other stuff. So, if I were you right now, then enjoy the video, and hopefully you might as well enjoy this video. And yes, I gave myself plenty of time before I say, alright, let's just get this video over with today, so that way I don't have to pretty much just get all, a bit pretty much likely to wait for that extra long. And remember, by the way, this is a human being that we're talking about. That nothing, and I mean nothing, in this whole world isn't funny to laugh to a man's death. That is all kind of crazy. That is a bunch of a new low we've ever probably experienced, only the ever time we ever seen this. But remember, the video of the next shot, that isn't going to be shown on screen because YouTube is going to give me a bang bang, which I'm referring to a strike. So, by the way, the next thing will not be case to be happening. Like, remember, and for those who don't want to watch it, then yes, it's pretty graphically bad. For those, as I'm trying to be safe and aware without pretty much likely getting an unexpected bang bang for whatever was going to happen. So just remember, the next scene or the video aren't going to be shown on pretty much display. It is only going to be pretty much discussed a different route. But anyways, without that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this warning and pretty much likely a few tips and heads up to understand that this video isn't all about laughs or jokes, because at this point it is never funny to laugh to a man's death, because at this point you're disrespecting a man who actually was a great debater and a great intelligent man that was used to be in the greatest minds of the world, that even in fact that he was even the greatest the whole time. So yes, I am Devin-Foxy remastered again. And remember, by the way, for those who don't understand, whoever's new to this, then please again, this is never a joke, and this is never intended to be all for laughs. This, by the way, is a serious video, as anyone can tell from my voice right now. So without further to do, is I hope you guys in fact enjoy this video. And like always, just remember, I'm only saying facts, not incorrected facts. And also, this doesn't have to do with politics, either from whatever exactly. This, remember, is a serious, very serious thing that's going on. And also, what side do I just blame for whoever just did with the shooter? It's obviously pretty much the other way around. Not the side on the right. It's only on the side of the far L. So, like always, hope you enjoyed this video, and we're gonna get this over with, and we're gonna have this completely over with. And remember, by the way, this, by the way, isn't gonna go out, by the way. This is for the truth, for everyone to hear about this. So, remember, again, for those who are demons out there, then again, go somewhere else and play with some bananas or something, or even hell, put a banana on an ice cream cone. For all I care for that. So remember, with that being said, this is about the truth. Like, this is about the truth, but nothing the truth, but the truth. Like, if I actually use like a line from Court or whatever, but this is just a different line. I probably might be quoting or something for whatsoever. But anyways, without wasting any time for 6 minutes, hope you enjoy this warning. And yes, you have been warned of this video. So remember, again, if you would click off, that's fine. And for those, by the way, who are like far left or whatever, then do not consider subscribing. Go watch somebody else. Or even, in fact, go and be inspired by somebody else who doesn't actually give a shit. But if no one doesn't want to unsubscribe, then subscribe if you're a new person to the channel. But just remember, this is just only a different certain of effect where people need to start thinking a little bit more smarter and a little careful. That remember, death is not always the greatest thing to do. Death is the baddest thing you could ever do, and it makes somebody pathetic. It makes somebody super intelligently stupid. So remember, do not subscribe if you're into that shit. But if you subscribe the truth, by the way, to me, that, by the way, will earn my respect and trust for that matter. So remember, I try being serious for the point of this video right now, so thank you. And for those who actually respect me on this one, then I appreciate it. So anyways, yes, you have definitely been warned, and very considered to be warned for right now. So anyways, without further ado, hope you enjoyed this video, and no, I'm not laughing because this video isn't about jokes. This, by the way, is 100% serious of the video. But anyway, that being said, let's get on with this, and let's do this here and now, and exactly, and also, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace for the man that brought everyone together. So, anyways, for anybody who wants to say something nice to Charlie Kirk, then I probably would rather do it right now if I were you, if I were in your shoes. So, there you go. And without that being said, hope you enjoyed this video, and rest in peace to the man, exactly, and rest in peace. And without that being said, folks, here we go, and enjoy the video. And in fact, rest in peace, man. You are a true American patriot, like always, like an American patriot. So, with that being said, enjoy the video, and let's get this over with, and here we go, I suppose. Let's just get this video started. Alright, hello everybody, I am Devin-Foxy, remastered again. And before I say anything else, by the way, and in fact, by the way, if you guys do enjoy this video, then please be sure to give this video a like, and comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified. Thank you. So, here I'm gonna say this, and boy, oh boy, hope the Lord is just telling me how am I gonna get on with this video here, just to kind of like say something on here exactly, and just, well, at this point I just can't stay silent. But at this point right now is that, yeah, sure, I might feel a bit depressed, and sure, I might feel a bit like sad at this point. And even if it sounds like a late video to me, then don't judge me if it was a late video or not. Which I know, I understand. If it was late or not, it still didn't matter. So again, it's not my fault if that was to be that point of it. So before I could make this video, and I actually definitely want to like make it interesting and a bit of like a well indeed message, and a very, very honorable deed message, is that, well, you guys do remember about the 10th, which I think we all remember about like September 10th, by the way, which I think it will kind of sound even like double bad exactly between like 10th or 11th, which I think we all can understand from that side of the point of it, which, yeah, it seemed pretty bit sad when something happened like 9/11 and shit, which we all know what that all happened about. So, yeah, that, by the way, I probably won't want to say anything about 9/11 at this point, since, yeah, that's not what we're here to talk about for that one. So, yeah, I mean, for me, it might kind of sound a little bit of a waste of breath for me to even say anything, which I know. History, history, history. I understand, which, by the way, there's a reason why I might be careful to watch out for that one. So, yeah, that's just what I want to kind of be on the watch out for that. So, even though I'm kind of waking my eyes a little up for a little bit just for this, exactly. So, for those who probably don't know about what happened with like the guy that got shot outside the campus, which, oh god, that is just, holy Jesus. Like, I'm like, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm just like, yeah, it just sounds like me, and I'm not like making jokes at this point, since I kind of am now starting to like feel a bit somewhere mature at this point, just to kind of like say something about this, which, yeah, the only thing I can ever say jokes is if I ever did like another video that probably isn't this one. So if I were myself right now, I'd try at least my best to kind of stay on topic at some points, just to stay on it. So that's just all I can say right now. And also, here's what I might also want to pretty much imply here exactly right now, is that, look, it is not cool to shoot somebody outside. Like, dude, who even think of this idea would have been going on for that? Which, I mean, I think inside would have been more, a little bit more with security guards outside. Or maybe have like a few police officers to just kind of like, however, stop the shooter at this point was pretty much going to be a little bit different. So, I think if I were myself right now, I probably wouldn't do outside, because I think it's kind of a little bit the opening. Do you actually kind of know or don't know? It might probably sound like, oh, it might sound like the opening that might probably would have gotten like a different instance, which I think we all can see. I think the inside would have been a little bit more protected than outside, I think. I mean, the only thing I could ever say exactly at this point is just that, look, I'm not hating, but I'm just wanting to like just say that I kind of feel bad how that happened, and I feel a bit so sad on that, by the way. Like, I can't like stomach it, by the way, and just see how a man that died outside exactly, which I think could say the name Charlie Kirk, by the way. That, oh yeah, I think he was a very amazing, talented bit of a guy, like pretty much most likely anybody at this point, and the dude was Christian, which I think I could say a little bit that, well, this doesn't have to do with religion, by the way, but I think I can respect a guy that's a Christian a little bit. I can respect a little bit as how I can feel a little bit. It's just that, yeah, the dude really didn't have to go through the suffering and just gotten killed at this point from outside, which, bro, it just, oh my god, it's just so bit sad to see that happen. Like, dude, I know it's just sad to see that, which I can say. However, exactly that it just really breaks my heart to see a guy that I never even met the guy, which I'm talking about in person, by the way, which I mean, I may never get to see that again, at least, which, by the way, that doesn't count for saying it's like, oh, it's the reverse backwards game by saying it's like, oh, it has to be completely going on with violence, with left versus right. Well, it isn't about that now, which all I can say, by the way, folks, is that the dude really would have been aware of what was happening on that. Which I mean, the inside of the building would have been more still protected, as I said, around like a few timestamps, as I said exactly. Is that why can't just like protect Charlie Kirk inside? I mean, whatever. I mean, not to still hate the guy, but I'm like, well, that's just like one way to kind of do an opening on that, by the way, which, by the way, I still am feeling disappointed. However, exactly this could still have been prevented if he was never shot outside, which it just really sucks to be particular, by the way. Even I'm not like making most of my words to be a bit make sense, by the way. So, to those who like Charlie Kirk or not, well, to me, by the way, I stand with Charlie Kirk, and I'm actually gonna say is like, yeah, I do feel bad for the guy that ever kind of had gone for this, and I really am sorry to Charlie Kirk for how he really got like shot outside, and also where the area hit him at was kind of where the neck area I think was at, which, bro, nobody can never survive that. Nobody can't. Like, dude, the neck is about the breathing. Like, for example, like the items apple. Like, that's just how people start talking. Like, dude, how do you not realize how dangerous that is? Like, of course it's about like the neck area, and of course it's like near the items apple area. That's how people got to start talking, and that's how people start saying words. Like, that's how exactly how everybody does in life is just start talking. Like, everybody's got item apples, including myself. I have one. Like, dude, that isn't cool. That's just calling into violence. Like, we do realize how disappointing that really is, right? Like, bro, there's just like so many bullshit ways, or should I say, in this current right now, is like, man, there's gonna be so many new ways, or lesser new ways, to just kind of like screw someone's life exactly, or even take a man's life away. I'm like, dude, you cannot be doing that. Like, that is not cool of you, man. Like, however, exactly, I might reveal the shooter's name a little less later, exactly on the next timestamp or whatever. But dude, that isn't cool. Like, imagine taking a father's life away. That is known to be Mr. Kirk himself, Charlie Kirk. Which, by the way, I still stand with the guy. Which also, I think most likely the haters can just like cry about it for how they're gonna like it. Which, by the way, I don't feel any sympathy for those like, oh, want to be hated people just to say it's like, bro, shut the frick up. Like, shut the frick up with that bullshit. We both know that it's not funny. So, as myself as a Christian, I really do want to say again, I hope he's in a better place, and I hope God or Jesus might take care of the guy, which I mean, yeah, I mean, he's going to be pretty powerful for many years to come, because we all know who did this exactly, which, oh my god. It's just like, come on, man. You cannot be serious. Like, you cannot actually be serious. Like, oh, where this all started, by the way, if people actually told me where this all started, by the way, about the campus? Well, it all started in Utah, which, by the way, I'm probably a little bit less not familiar with Utah, which, by the way, I've never been there exactly, because at this point, I think I heard about one thing or a couple things that I think Utah's like pretty hot out there. You know, like it's a desert at this point, which I don't know why it would probably would to be, but I think there's probably like a few different similar ways how you can probably just like go into like just like the actual city of Utah, whatever exactly, but whatever. So This point right now really shocks me. It really scares me a lot. Which, by the way, I actually started freaking crying to see the guy got shot. Which, dude, there's no reason to do that. Like, what kind of a freaking madman does this? Like, bruh, of course we might be expecting a lot of demons outside. Which I'm like, come on, but dude, like, how can you be that hateful to take a guy's life, even from a Christian? Dude, like, that doesn't make you cool. Which I don't care for whoever actually just wants to hate the guy. I'm pretty much neutral at the middle of all of it. I'd rather be at the middle right. Like, come on, dude. That is not how you do this. And I'm like, come the frick on. Like, can you really just not do that? Like, of course, there's going to probably be one individual out there, or maybe lesser individuals, who probably start being in the circle that goes on to say, is like, you know what, I decided to think about this to myself and want to start to kill a man. Like, what in the world is this? Like, come on, that is not how you do this in life. Like, it's all about freaking debating. He was a great debater. Like, come on. Like, he was this intelligent. Like, the dude was intelligent from a different IQ. Like, what the frick? Like, bro, does nobody not realize how stupid that sounds to be? It's just like killing one of the greatest debaters in the frickin' world, having common frickin' sense. And yet again, so likely with unaction. That is just so sad and the weakest bullshit I've ever heard. Like, for however, by the way, this is a good reason why I probably am saying is that I'd rather stand up to a guy that was a Christian and has cared about life even more and actually has a great opportunities that he ever had in his life. And also, trust me, he had like a million, 3 freaking million, or like near 4 million subscribers on his freaking YouTube account. Like, dude, he was on YouTube and from other medias. Like, he barely got closer enough to reach the next milestone. He barely almost reached 4 million, for God's sakes. Like, what in the world is this? Like, what kind of world do we even live in anymore? Like, that's just sad, dude. Like, for those who probably felt the same way as I do, so am I. I really am sad to see that too. Which, in fact, I've tried to actually be a bit neutral to the point where I don't want to be saying it's like, oh, it's about debates. Well, it actually isn't right now, because at this point, he was a human being like all of us. The dude brought everyone together. Like, he brought everyone together. He brought everyone in here. Like, he brought from everyone from left, near, right, middle, or anywhere else. He has brought everyone in here to just have a bit of an interesting debate and have a conversation. Which I think to some people that I think what people don't understand to realize that I'm talking about from the other side a little bit. Just says like, I think what most people should probably be knowing about is that look, at some points, debates are just a little bit about like understanding, getting to have a conversation, and having a little bit of common sense. To some points of debate is just some points to say, which yeah, I really am going to say this, by the way. I do feel bad for Charlie Kirk and stand up to him exactly and really stand for him exactly for more likely, which don't get it the wrong way and don't get it confused in the other foot of the shoe, which, oh, Lord, I'm just pretty disappointed. Like, I really am disappointed to see that happen. I really do feel that in the inside, which, oh, man, I just have to say, dude, is that well, I have to say is that I want to point out a few things. Is that imagine that him and his kids, by the way, won't get to see their father again. Because what just really happened is like the most disappointing bullshit that's ever been here at this very point. Which I think I want to say for everyone here, and all of us here, is like, imagine without having a dad. to look after the wife and the children. Like, he literally has kids, for God's sakes, too. Like, what kind of madman wanted to suffer that? Like, for no reason at all, just to take a man's life away outside pretty much the campus. Which I can't probably just talk about the graphic, because I mean, yeah, for those for who don't know about the graphic, I don't want to show that, by the way, because I think YouTube's just gonna like either just like says like gave me a strike, or maybe just like, yeah, because I can't be mentioning the Bam Bam. I can't really be mentioning the Bam Bam right near the neck lobe area. So yeah, for me, by the way, I don't want to look at it either, because at this point, it's just going to kind of scare people for that. So if I'm myself right now, I probably would rather say is like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I would never want to do that, because that's just a bad thing to do anyway, just to do that to someone's life anyway, by literally showing it on the screen anyway. Like, yeah, I do feel bad for the guy, at least. And also for his wife, by the way, that witnessed this. And also her children and his children actually barely saw this. Like, I think, again, it just feels sad. And I feel bad for his wife, Miss Kirk, by the way. I do feel bad for the wife a little bit. And just says, like, yeah, maybe I'm just wanting to give some, a little bit of some talks with that, by the way, and just says like some yeah, I do feel bad for that whole thing was going on for the 10th. So I hope people do make a statue for him, and I hopefully from some parts of the world, as I do hope to say at this point right now, that I hope that there could be a statue of him, and I hope that there will probably be some, yeah, a little bit of some memorial exactly for a little bit, and just like start showing some reasons for the people that should probably see the guy on the statue exactly, and just like, just give him like some prayers exactly. I mean, that would have been the best for all of us. Is just like see God and just seek God exactly, and go to church at some point, and just kind of see that, by the way, because I mean, it kind of would help a little bit, even if some people probably would or won't be into God for most of it. That's fine, but I think for some people exactly should realize. I think that should probably be the case for like literally seeing God at this point. Because for me, by the way, yeah, I probably would say I might give a little few prayers exactly for a little bit. Even if I never been going to a church at some point, I might even give like some prayers a little bit, and just say is like, yeah, I feel bad for the guy. I really did. And also, in fact, by the way, I was just surprised that my jaw was dropped, by the way, which I'm being dead serious, not joking. I was dead serious. I watched the whole thing, and I'm like, oh my god. There's just like no way. So, anyway, like, like there were like two suspect individuals, by the way. Like there were like two suspects, by the way, that were out there. I think one was an old man, and I think one was like a trained assassin. I think that those were the ones who were being catched exactly a little bit from direction. And I think the only thing I could point out here, by the way, is just that, yeah, I really hope that again that either which one's gonna go. I think we probably did encounter like a few witnesses a little bit by saying it's like, oh, the old man was caught, by the way. I think, yeah, I think he should probably be going to prison for that, since he could have let the shooter like get away a little bit, which I think that was stupid. Like, bruh, that's just stupid. Like, for those who do that, that's just not cool. Like, come on, dude. Like, didn't anybody never want to notice that? Like, the bro was literally on a freaking roof. Bro was literally on a roof. Like, how was he actually still been caught up there when he was, like, over there anyway? When the police literally just saw him on camera. Like, you cannot tell me he was up there. Literally, being up there. And then for some points, I think he did got away exactly from the roof. He did kind of got caught on camera. Well, he was instantly running from the school to campus a little bit off exactly. And then he started leaving his freaking weapon on the forest, which I think I was kind of a little stupid. which, yeah, it was a bit stupid in my opinion. I think it was a bit stupid. And then, of course, when the police finally caught up with him, I'm like, thank freaking God. But also, of course, his own freaking dad. Like, just, for once, some reason why I kind of laughed to that a little bit was just that, dude, how stupid did this had to really go? Like, I think the only thing I could say how stupid did that actually went and go exactly was that, dude, the guy literally just got caught by his dad. Like, bruh, that was a bit base from the father, which I can respect a little bit from that. And I'm like, holy shit, did his own dad actually caught him on this? No freaking way. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, for those who probably would be getting caught anyways, is that good for the dad? I say good, good. I mean, it's about damn time that we should definitely have that happening. Which, by the way, I probably say that, well, yeah, at some points for me, by the way, I think violence probably is not the greatest thing to do anyway, which, yeah, it really is. I mean, at this point, everyone has opinions anyway to like Kirk or not, but at this point, I think to say is just at least be respectful, at least. At least have common sense and respect and dignity, and have at least some humanity to the guy, even if some people actually think that he was kind of an alright person or not. I mean, he tried to stay out of some, he was trying to stay out of some points of them, but at least I can still respect the guy. However, that I think at least he was a bit respectful, just to probably go on, just to be that respectful and very, 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 very respectful. So, anyways, to my only things I ever want to say, by the way, is I hope that he lives in a very great place with Jesus and a little bit of some interesting other people. Like, for those are actually, like, pretty good legends, by the way, that were actually the best legends I'd ever seen. And also, I did forgot to say the word legend before I said any of that, so yeah, I mean, Charlie Kirk, what a legend, man. You are seriously like a legend. So, with those, by the way, that being said, is that, I mean, here's a one little interesting fact. He was about to wanting to be president someday. Like, no way. Like, I think I did catch a few, actually, a bit of interesting liners a little bit, and I heard about something like, bro was going to be literally like a president. A little bit. But, unfortunately, that actually has now passed down exactly and will never be ceased to happen, which I think was kind of a bit sad to watch a little bit by seeing this going down in history, which I think shocked the whole world. Even like for myself, I actually was shocked too that I think everyone is coming together and starting to say is like, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, and I think everyone is standing for Charlie Kirk, which I think I have to say I might actually say the same thing. So again, for those who try to say is like, oh, why are you making this video? Well, at this point, I probably don't care if some hated person wants to hate something. It's like, dude, you do realize that isn't cool, right? Like, for example, if you ever do want to say something that's not cool, then it isn't cool to do that. Like, for example, you're literally gonna get freaking fired at this point, right? Like, you're literally gonna get fired. So, yeah, I mean, if I were myself right now, I probably wouldn't say anything hateful to the guy. I mean, we at least could appreciate for his like subscriber goal for anything. Like he was literally on the subscriber goal, which I think I can say congratulations to the man who nearly got 400 million subscribers and 4 million K. Literally, like 4 million. Like imagine getting 4 effing million subscribers on his account, which I did look a little bit and I'm like, wait, is this actually real? And I did look on the search on YouTube and it actually was real. Holy shit. That was actually like the real thing I'd never seen before. And I'm like, huh, how did I not know this before? And then I started developing a little bit and started looking at it and I'm like, okay, well, I guess this was a little bit base to look at. And also, what really surprised me a little bit was just a little bit of something interesting was that, yeah, I think I have to say that Charlie Kirk was kind of a little bit impressive, a little bit how South Park actually decided to actually give him a parody a little bit. I'm like, shit, since when did South Park did this? I'm like, shit, No way. Like, that actually really did surprise me off guard a little bit, which I never watched the show, by the way, to be honest, which, if for some people actually told me by seeing is like, oh, you should watch South Park. Well, for me, by the way, I didn't even development to look at all of it, by the way, which there might probably be a few scenes I might rather skip a little bit to the point where I might have to say is like, you know what, I kind of would rather see more action a little bit. That's why I kind of prefer more. I'm more of like an action guy that probably would want to watch some like interesting ways of like, oh, back and forward kind of stuff a little bit, as long it's fair, as I can point out, as in for what I can say about it. So, for those who probably have watched South Park, I never got to watch the show, to be honest, which I mean, there probably will be a few different interactions as I can like or dislike about the show, as long as it plays fair and plays nicely to say how I can respect it, then that's all I can say right now. So, anyways, without that being said, folks, I hope you guys do in fact enjoy this video, and rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. And I hope to say is, hope you rest your soul, and I hope that you have a great, amazing life, and amazing journey along your life, and the greatest journey you ever did, exactly, which I have to say is amen to Charlie Kirk. And you were a legend for anybody that has never been forgotten. You were like the greatest debater ever since you existed. And I hope that you have a great life, an amazing opportunity life to pretty much hopefully that you watch all of us down below from earth to the high heavens, which I hope for, by the way, that hope you rest your soul, and I hope that you have a great life and had a very interesting life ahead of you. And I hope to say it's like, yeah, I hope that you have a great, amazing time with God and slash Jesus. So hope you have a great life, man. And I mean, as in for like the family, I have to say I'll have to respect the family from like his family that was the wife and the children. And also, how bad do I feel a little bit? Well, I do feel bad about the fact about like not like letting the kids have a father again, like walking after them in the aisle, like it's just so sad and depressing at this point. It really is depressing. I mean, as myself as like a little bit of me having a bit of some depressed a little bit at some point of like having depression, like it really is so sad to see the fact like not seeing his only children to ever kind of like just help them in life a little bit, just like help the children in life a little bit. Like, I think I find that so sad, at least, and find that so evil and so demonically evil. Like, I'm saying the word demonically evil. That it's just so sad to see how this really went happening. And, like, I just really hope that at this point, I know how this is going to kind of feel a little bit sad by seeing is like when the children start saying is like, Mom, where's Daddy? And then there's going to be a very hard question to this point where the wife's going to start like figuring a different way to help the children a little bit just to kind of like forget all this ever happened, which I know it's sad. I can understand how depressing it is, which I can say to myself, it is so depressing that yeah, I do feel sad for this, and I really say again, I 100% stand for Charlie Kirk, and really again, say that I'll actually say I'll give a few interesting prayers for the man. And also, in fact, I never even watched his channel to begin with in his old videos. I never even watched it. But maybe at some point I might get to watch a bit of some his content a little bit and just say that at this point. So maybe. Just only maybe to myself, just maybe, only maybe. Which by the way I try to at least stay a bit careful as I can, so that's the point of it. And yeah, I feel again so bad for the guy for how he actually got like the bullet to the neck, which is just so horrible in many ways, of so many ways horribly. So yeah, for however, I hope the shooter gets a death penalty, by the way, which, like I said, I have to say again, it just feels sad to see how much of a serious crime that really is to take a man's life away, which I think for all of us, by the way, it's just so sad, dude. Like, I think I have to say, for the shooter's name I finally revealed and looked at was like, the shooter's name was Tyler Robinson. And I'm like, no effing shit. Like, literally, no shit, by the way. So, for those, by the way, actually, I want to say for everyone is that, well, by the way, I think the killer or the shooter of the assassin should really be getting a death penalty at this point because it just feels so wrong in many ways that I just don't feel like actually just wanted to keep continuing. But here we are again, still going on for this. But what I could probably say for the shooter, that I hope that shooter finds the devil in his own life to just torture him in many ways in hell. By the way, for like Tyler Robinson should really face death a little bit and face much more horrendous acts for that reason. And also, not only this is like the serious crime to stoop that low and many low things ever to kind of shoot literally at nobody exactly to shoot literally a person exactly for no reason at all. It's just so dumb. Like, it's just so stupid by having a little teeny tiny brain just not to understand that carefully from like a monkey of an ape. Like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, are you actually freaking out of your mind? Like, seriously, bruh, are you out of your freaking mind? Like, how much humanity and lifeless is this even is right now? Like, I could really understand the reaction to see how this is going to go out and play out for the person, by the way. And also, no, I will not miss the shooter, by the way. I will not miss him for that fact. And also, man, that is just so sad. First off, we literally just had like a few different assassinations because they literally hate the president, the sitting main previous president. That, seriously, what the fuck are we even living right now? Like, dude, first was like two different assassins. Literally, two different assassins. Literally went after the president for all this. Dude, what the frick is this? Which, even though sometimes I don't talk about politics at some point, which, by the way, it just made me feel a little bit depressed, a little bit. And oh yeah, I am not gonna kind of forgive like two other assassins for whoever did that as well, coming from outside or even near his home. Exactly, that actually happened. Like, first was in like Pennsylvania, and then now, secondly, his own freaking home. Like, what kind of sick animals is this? Like, bruh, that is some stupid bullshit ever. Like, this might be a reason why I might dislike a few different things. As I could say is like, dude, nobody deserves death. Even including the freaking president. Nobody deserves this kind of shit. Like, nobody deserves any of this. Like, of course, I figured out to say why I disapprove of where this was gonna go and how sad this was. Like, bro, is this what we really are doing now in our life? Is this what we're really doing? Like, bro, is this what we're really actually doing now? Killing anyone? Dude, what the frick? Because of all of hatred for some reason? Bro, get a life. Literally, get a fucking life already. Dude, move the fuck on. Like, it's just so disappointing that we get to see that in modern day. It's just disappointing, dude. Like, for those who do this, I think some people, I think they deserve to seek God in many ways and start thinking of different solutions, how to not instantly fucking kill people on the streets or literally anywhere from outside the directions. Like, man, that's just sad in many ways that I don't think anybody would probably be safe at this point, or including literally anyone around the person, or even including myself for that matter. Which, that is so stupid, you know that? That is like the literally the stupidest of the stupidest I had ever seen. And also, no, I think people should never vote for the D, for example, ever again, because that is just demonically so evil in many horrible ways. Like, I think it comes to a point where it's been truly been studied and truly been tested that I think anybody at this point would rather be leaning right at this point and just say, like, you know what? We all done. We're all done. We're literally done from like the bullshit. That would like anyone's gonna have to stand up for this and be so done for this. So, and also, by the way, I also want to say this too, that I, by the way, want to say this, by the way, for example, is that I probably would never, ever, 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 ever forgive it again. And also, I will say this right now, and very right now, that no, I do not feel sorry, by the way, for however, that I'm not getting rid of this, by the way, because for those who try to say is like, oh, you gotta take it down. Well, that's just stupid, okay? That's like sounding like a crazy crap. That sounds like a crazy clown that starts to say is like, oh, might as well just tell me to say that's gonna be the coward way to do it. Well, I'm no coward. I'm not a fool, and no one can't fool me for that shit because nobody can't fool me for anything. Because I mean, at least I try being respectful and being very nice. So for those who despise Kirk, shut the fuck up and get the fuck out. Because, I mean, at this point, there's no room to talk and there's nothing to consider to lie out of their teeth or anything. So, bruh, why even be talking about it and why even say anything out of this when it's literally the saddest thing in life to just see a man fucking die because he had children? Like, what the fuck? Like, who even gets away with murder for this? Who literally gets away from murder for this? Like, ah. Yeah, this, by the way, I'm gonna say this clearly for some people, is that the next time I ever see bullshit like this again, I'm literally moving the fuck out of here, and this might be a reason why I might get the fuck out of here. Because at this point, it's just sad, which I know I keep repeating this, by the way, and I know there might be different insanities for some reasons like this is unacceptable. Like, for those who do this, it's just like the most cruel thing I ever heard. It's like the cruelest thing I've ever witnessed in life. Exactly that. I might probably be very less traumatized to see this, and I probably would be very, 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 very silent. That as I might saw that. Which I probably was silent and was so shocked that I was actually gonna start crying that it's serious, dude. Nobody can't get away with crime like that. Like, dude, that is just disappointing. That's literally sad. I mean, what can any person would have done, by the way, was like, why can't like steal someone's candy? Like, that would have been like a lesser crime to. Oh my fucking god! Like, like criminals now to assassin criminals, bruh. What kind of hell are we even living? Like, Jesus, like, why is so many demons are literally just being that hatred? Bruh, why can't people just basically move the fact that just move the frick on about this? Like, of course, we're gonna all here expect from whiny little babies are gonna start asking to say, is like, like, come on, shut up. Just please just shut up and just do something with your life, man. Like, I'm not wanting to like trigger some people. I'm just trying to be a little bit base as I can and be a little bit mature in the room a little bit and just start like being like a bit of somewhat of an adult and just start saying something and just say like, dude, move on and just get the fuck out of here with that shit. And also, there's a good reason why I've actually stayed out of freaking Discord for a reason, and I've learned my lesson to stay the fuck out of it. Because also, at this point, there's gonna be literally many, 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 many demons at some point that might actually just come to spawn at some point at literally anywhere that might want to start some different bullshit to do something way, way more sinister and way killingly worse that I think some people would see so badly to see, which I think is so disgraceful. Even hell, I probably would say how disgusting that is. So, for those who say is to me, by the way, and say this, by the way, is like, do you feel a bit more apologetic? The answer is, how about F no? And also, I do not feel bad about it, about like, however exactly it comes to being either apologetic or apologetic anyway. I'd rather take the first bait. I'd rather take the first option and say is like, you know what? I'd rather be unapologetic, okay? I am just not wanting to hear to play like, oh, play little interesting little games. Well, it's just endless shit that no one wants to hear about that I probably would agree this too. That bruh, It doesn't have to do with bullshit. Like, my lord, for God's sakes. But, anyways, hope that you guys do enjoy this video, and I know it was pretty sad to hear this, which I probably would say I could agree with this too. So, rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. Rest in peace. And also, by the way, I would rather never vote for a demo in my entire life. Never. And also, I've been against it from day freaking one. Literally, day effing one. So, I hope for those understand that I'm actually talking about this, that even if this was a late video, well, too bad, this was just a late video, I had to talk about this anyway. So, for whoever just takes the coward way exactly by saying is like, oh, I love being on the very interesting left. Well, stop trying to prove that you're somebody that just wants to keep on bragging every day. Like, come on, stop bragging like it's just like the nearest 2.07 right now. Like, that's just pathetic. Like, I mean, at this point, like, literally go on to Mars at this point. Like, just literally go on Mars or go into Saturn. Come on. Like, for those who just doesn't respect life at all, that's called being a freaking monster, you know? That is called being a very evil monster that lives the devil inside somebody. So, man, this is exactly why I tried staying a little bit less aware of doing religion or less politics at some point. For me, that, well, I've actually learned a little bit of some politics at some point that I probably would rather take from a little bit side of on right. So, there you go. And also for those, by the way, I'd rather be unapologetic, and I would never feel sorry for the other side. That I'll never feel any sorry for that, because once I am like just gonna get away from it and just say is like, yeah, I mean this has gone too far, man. I mean even hell, I never want to associate that with the person ever again. I never want to associate with it either. So to those that understand, I'm sorry, but I don't care. I will be very, very, very unapologetic ever again, and I'll never feel sorry ever again. It's either saying like, oh, I have to say it, or don't say it. Because I mean, for me, I have a fucking right to, and so should everyone else. So, anyway, even in fact, I never even heard about the word unapologetic before, but now I'm now gonna hear it and say it anyway and quote it anyway. That bro, I would rather be so unapologetic and never feel sorry ever again. So, anyways, without that being said, I'm gonna get going, and without that being said, like always, I'm Devin-Foxy, remastered, and also rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, and I hope his wife and his children will feel a bit safer a little bit, and just have like, I don't know, have a little bit less flames going down a little bit, and just have a little flame down exactly, just to like, let the water just melt down the flame, and just like, rest it down, and have it for rest in peace. So, I hope for those, by the way, that might be in a safer place now, for like his wife and his children to kind of actually be more safer a little bit, which I know it still feels a bit shocking to me, which I understand that. So yeah, I mean, this is about time I might say that I'm against pretty much the other side now, which I'm have to say that I would rather be a patriot. I'd rather be an American patriot right now, by the way. Like, this is a good reason why I stand up for good, not most likely for evil at some point, which, by the way, I tried staying on neutral anyways from all sides a little bit, just being on lesser sides, which at some point I could probably respect, or near likely to disrespect. But remember, always be nice. Always be nice to one another. Which, I mean, for some reason, this is exactly why that most people should be using this as for a quota. Always be nice. Never always be evil at this point. Or pretty much likely have a different point, having like a different based opinion. Even hell, it's just not cool to do that, okay? Like, at least people can have opinions, including myself. Like, that doesn't give you like a different right just to go on and do that. By literally going for murder. That's just like a very different crime with murder, or even like a murder degree. Like, that's just so wrong in many cases. Like, that's just wrong, man. So, without that being said, I'm gonna just sign off and get going from all this and just leave. So, Anyways, not to continue more fire or anything, but this is where I'm gonna have to end this video and wrap this up. And however, I actually want to see how this is gonna play out with, Mr. Kill over here, that's known as Mr. Robinson, or should I say, Mr. Tyler Robinson, by the way, the son of like Tyler Robinson, should just really face the death penalty and really, really, really be so guilty by those lifeless eyes and so many hatred to the guy that never would ever feel life again or touch the grass or anything ever again from all of this is unacceptable. Like, also, hashtag this, by the way, is like some people are using that quote by saying is like, we are Charlie Kirk. So, for those, by the way, who need to do that, please. That'll be like saving like the most of the world for good for a little bit and do that for most likely for anything. So, go ahead and hashtag it, by the way, and say that, by the way, and quote it. So, without that being said, again, I'll see you later, and thank you guys for watching this video. And without that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like always, just like and comment and subscribe to the bell to be notified. And without further ado, I will see you guys soon enough, and absolutely see you guys again in the next video. But for me, I'm just gonna go ahead and just kind of like be a little bit outside for a little bit, like maybe go for a walk a little bit, and just go for a walk and just kind of like go for a walk and just have a breather a little bit and just relax my mind a little bit for a little bit of a different, safer place a little bit, and just like think my mind a little bit while being outside in like the safest place at some point to walk. But yeah, I don't know what's really happening with the world right now, man. I mean, it's just really so sad in many ways to see this go. But anyway, I'll see you next time. This is Devin-Foxy with Mastered. See you later. Peace out. Goodbye. See you guys absolutely in the next video. And like I said, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. And hope you guys enjoyed something, and hope you guys learned from this. Exactly, for those who are new about the situation, well, I think it's just time that we all got to be respectful and got to be nice to one of another, and definitely, and I mean sincerely, definitely be very respectful from one of another, because this, by the way, has taught us, by the way, that violence is the scariest thing that anything could ever happen in the most of the point of anything. Like, it's just really sad, man. It really is that sad and very hatredly evil. So, without that being said, hope you guys enjoyed something. I hope you guys learned something from here. So, without that being said, and also, by the way, screw Discord and screw that shit. For however, that I never knew that a stupid killer like him actually would ever have that shit. So, how about don't even give a shit? Which I know there might be a few good people that might still like it. Exactly what I mean. There are like a few different good individuals who ever like go on that site, but there are some evil people I probably would never interact with, which I probably still never will and never once will do that. So how about F no, and how about go outside and touch some grass for once? So with that being said, I think I probably would go out and just be a bit of like a based guy and be a based knight and a true knight, like always a little bit, and like lesser ways anyway. So with that being said, goodbye, see you next time, and see you later. So peace out, goodbye, and it's time I get going, and alright. See you later, guys. And here's another thing, by the way, that, yeah, I might be still a bit speechless and be a little bit losing my words a little bit. So I'm just trying at least to kind of be careful with some point of my words of like my disability, for example. So here's this what I'm going to say at the end of the video is like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified if you feel bad for like Charlie Kirk if you subscribe. But if you don't, by the way, then get the F off, by the way, if you don't appreciate life anyway and appreciate a good man, which even if some people don't like the man, then fine, don't like the guy. Just move on. This has nothing to do with the guy. So, anyways, for those who just like Charlie Kirk or not, subscribe. But who doesn't, get out. So anyway, with that being said, see you next time. Peace out, goodbye, and I'll see you guys absolutely in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody, and yeah, so thank you guys for watching. See you next time, and like always, like, comment, subscribe the bell, be notified, and we'll see you guys absolutely in the next video. And also, by the way, I may disagree on some points with Charlie Kirk a little bit. I might actually give a few agreeing to disagree and then maybe disagree to agree. Like, it's just called having an opinion and debating. That's it. Like, nothing else more. So, that's probably the first extra I might even point out this, by the way, and point out for this exact fact. So, thank you, goodbye, and see you later. And for those who seek God, by the way, please get some help and please get some mental help a little bit from that. So, anyway, see you in the next video. Bye bye, and see you on later. See you guys next time. And rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, and rest in peace and may rest your soul. So, see you next time. Goodbye, and sign off.